everyone, welcome to this new series where I am going to be reacting to Am I the Asshole subreddit. But before we do that, I just want to address something. You know what? आज सुबह से मेरे साथ ऐसा हो रहा है कि मुझे लग रहा है कि मेरा फोन बज रहा है, but literally my phone has been in front of me the entire day. I have a stuffy nose and a very bad throat right now because make it make sense to me कि summer में when you're sweating this bad and you catch a cold, like is that possible? I mean, it's possible because it has happened to me, but how is it possible is the question. Also, if you think that I was doing drugs, you're wrong. This is just talcum powder on my t-shirt jo hat nahi raha hai. Because you know what? It's literally June. The weather is so bad. I'm always sweating, even after I come out of a bath. See, I've seen a lot of people reacting to these subreddits and मैं ये regularly पढ़ती भी हूँ offline. So I thought, you know what, let's just react to these together and share our opinions. Okay, so the first one is, am I the asshole for telling my husband he's too broke to be so sexist? But the verdict has been, not the a-hole, poo mode. I don't know what that means. So my husband comes from a traditional family. Mom's a stay-at-home mom. Father was sole provider. I come from the opposite. My mother pretty much forbade from ever being financially dependent on a man and drilled that into me early on. My husband worked hard to unlearn the values he saw replicated at home. The one thing that grinds my gears is how much weight he puts on the opinions of his family. I get that we all want our parents to be proud of us, but this is too much. My in-laws are staying with us for 2 weeks. I prep breakfast, we all eat lunch at work, school, and my husband makes dinner. We have a cleaner, but she's on holidays, so in the meantime we're DIYing the cleaning where it's down to everyone to keep their space clean and common spaces we all clean. This is how we've always done it and it works, which is perfect. Like, I think this is how modern families are nowadays. Like, both people are usually working, so you know, we have to split the chores. My in-laws hate that I'm one of those modern women. Okay, I just said the word modern and there we are, you know, conservative people. Here we go. They hate that I work, they hate that I don't find my purpose in being a wife and mother, and they hate that my husband pulls the weight at home. We spoke pretty frankly early on, where I established my boundaries and told them I won't be chastised about how I live my life in my home. When I'm a guest in their home, I accommodate their ways and play the DIL they wish I was. They have, for the most part, respected this. I got home yesterday after work, tired and starving. I said quick hellos and ran up for a pre-dinner shower. When I came down, I went to the kitchen to help set up for dinner and found nothing ready. I asked my husband about it, but he wouldn't look at me, and his mother answered that he hadn't cooked anything. She told me I needed to do my duty as a wife and cook for my family. My coward of a husband still wasn't looking at me. I just walked away and ordered takeaway. I dished up for me and my kids and we sat at the table to eat. My husband and his parents served themselves and joined us. My MIL was still going on about what was wrong with me and why I was a failure. I asked my husband if he had anything to say. He said his mother had a point. Wait, what? You're married to this woman for so long. You agreed that this was not going to be a traditional marriage. It was going to be the modern marriage. And you also mentioned that your husband had unlearned all of that he learned at home, and now he said that his mother has a point. I'm already against him. No matter what he does after this, I'm against him. And it wouldn't hurt if I acted more like a proper woman. My god, that makes my blood boil. And took better care of my home and children. He said tradition was tradition for a reason, and it was kind of insulting that I thought I was too good for how he was raised. This is where I might be the asshole. I told him tradition won't allow a man on 35k to support a family of 5. You're not the asshole. You should say that stuff. This is just BS. If anyone says this kind of stuff to a working woman, that this is your job to take care of the family, I am going to yeet that guy out. You don't deserve a wife, you don't deserve a home. And he was too broke to be sexist. He looked hurt and I saw tears welling in his eyes. He excused himself from the table. I regret saying that in front of our children, but him saying that to me after I'm busting my ass to clean up his mess on top of having to deal with his parents was too much for me. I think you're not the asshole at all. I think you need to talk to the kids about what their grandparents are telling them. I bet they are trying to push their beliefs even when you aren't around. This is one of the comments and I completely agree with it. I can understand that the generation above us can be a little more traditional and conservative, due to which they can have beliefs that don't completely align with us. When you leave kids around such a generation, there is a total chance that they are going to tell them some things which, you know, the new generation is going to absorb in a completely wrong way, because they are going to see things around themselves which is modern but at the same time hold beliefs which are conservative, which is just going to be a huge clusterfuck of things. I just feel like the grandparents here, or the in-laws basically, are not the ones at fault, because the mother-in-law completely doesn't understand what a working woman feels like, because in her generation probably women did not work, they did not have the rights. And yeah, she's okay to believe that, but the husband, who clearly has a working wife and is from a generation where women work, should not be holding these beliefs. So I think the husband is the asshole here, the only person who's the asshole. Grandparents, mother-in-law, father-in-law, I don't see anything about the father-in-law, but the mother-in-law, asshole, but understandable kind of an asshole, as in like I can see why she would say that. But I think the entire thing is on the husband because he could not take a stand for his wife. Okay, next one. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter that life isn't high school, and if it was, she would be the loser now? Interesting, no idea what this one is about, but let's find out. My daughter is 24, Kelly, and my younger daughter is 23, Sarah. They both had very different high school experiences. Kelly was very social and in different sports. Sarah was very academic and had a small group of friends. Kelly got a sports scholarship for college but soon dropped out of college after she failed multiple classes. She basically partied and did her sport and nothing else. Sarah went on to finish her degree and is doing well in life. Kelly has a jealousy issue and I have talked with her before about it. She's never happy when Sarah has an accomplishment. Today Sarah told us that she's going on a cruise for her vacation this year. Kelly always wanted to go on a cruise and couldn't afford it with her waiter job. In the car, she blew up saying that Sarah was a loser in high school, so it isn't fair that she has all this time now. She went on for a bit when I had enough. I told her life isn't like high school, and if it was, she was the loser now. With the context, I think calling her a loser isn't wrong at all. She was already calling your other daughter a loser because she was the one who decided to focus more on the academics and not just party around. I'm not saying that partying and doing things, playing sports and stuff is wrong, because having extracurriculars or having a social life is amazing. Like, I am envious of people who have those skills, but that does not mean that you can demean someone else for not having those skills and focusing more on academics. Ooh, spicy one. Am I the asshole for telling my kinda daughter-in-law she isn't giving birth to Jesus, and if she doesn't clean that she can get out of my house? The tag for this is not the asshole, so let's see. My son and his girlfriend have been dating since college. They graduated last year and are 22 and 23. They used to have an apartment together but soon found out she was pregnant. I was not happy when they informed me. I knew they could not afford it, but they wanted to keep the baby. They're also doing a shotgun wedding soon. That just seems like a very terrible idea. Very terrible idea. I mean, oh my god, just graduated out of college and then getting pregnant and then also wanting to keep the baby and then having a shotgun wedding? I can tell that these kids are not mature enough. I don't expect 22 or 23-year-olds to be that mature, given I'm 25, but I can confirm that I'm not the same person that I was like 2-3 years ago, trust me. But yeah, these people, nah, this is too immature, because even when I was 22, 23, I was not like this. I was not like this at all. I knew what being safe meant. I know for a fact that if I ever was in this situation, I wouldn't be keeping the baby and I wouldn't be doing a shotgun wedding. I still wouldn't do it, and I'm 25. Soon after, they asked to move into my home. It is a large home with plenty of space. They wanted to save money for the baby. I made it clear that they will need to do chores but their own food and buy their own food. They agreed and are so messy. I've talked to both of them before and they keep telling me they will do better. My son has been traveling for a job and it became clear that she's the one being a mess. In short, she's a slob. She leaves dishes out constantly. Her stuff is all over the house. Her bathroom is so gross. Yikes. I've talked to her over and over again. I've talked to my son and he has talked to her. She's 8 months pregnant and her excuse is she cannot clean. She hasn't been cleaning since she moved in 6 months ago. If she was doing it before but not doing it now, I'd be a little more empathetic, because I'm like, yeah, I mean, you're 8 months pregnant. It's very hard for you to move, right? But since you were 2 months pregnant, when you were even barely showing, I guess, and you're still not doing anything, nah, that sucks. I came home with groceries and tripped over her shoes. I had enough. I told her she isn't giving birth to Jesus, and if she doesn't clean, she can get out of my house. She started to cry, and my son is pissed at me. I reminded him that I'm doing them a huge favor and doubled down on cleaning. I mean, not the asshole. I'm gonna say you're not the asshole. This girl who's living with you, first of all, she's not your daughter-in-law. She's kinda daughter-in-law, like she has written. She shouldn't be so entitled living at her boyfriend's mom's house. I mean, if I go to anyone's house, even if I'm like related to that person, I still make sure that I'm on my best behavior. I might not be like that at my own house or my parents' house, but I don't act that entitled at anyone else's house. I'm better than her in my own house and my parents' house. So yeah, there's no excuse for all of this. You're being a freeloader, sort of, and you're also just not cooperating. You're not keeping your end of the bargain. So definitely she's the asshole here. Am I the asshole for punishing my family by no longer doing birthdays, holidays, vacations because my dad screwed me and my wife over? I mean, the title does not sound like he's the asshole, but since the verdict has been the asshole, we're just gonna read and get more context here. When my wife and I were talking about getting married, my dad said that he would give us a down payment for a home. We were thrilled and kept that in mind. We would be able to afford a good starter home with his help, and we skimped and saved to add to it. Except, apparently he meant a sum of money good for a down payment for a house near us, where the cost of living is low. He did not ever mean a down payment for a home in Colorado, where my wife and I have lived since we were in college. He said he thought I would be smart enough to realize that we'd need to move somewhere with a lower cost of living than Colorado. He keeps saying move to a cheaper city. Our lives are here, our friends, our jobs, our hobbies. You can't exactly leave your house and be up on the top of 14,000 feet peak. I'm so dyslexic, I can't even read this. In 6 hours where my family is. Whatever. I just got that he's not happy about moving next to their family. I told him that we had never talked about moving back there, and we never would. That we would rather be stuck renting for a while longer than be stuck somewhere we didn't want to be, and then move to a cheaper city wouldn't work for us. He said so be it and gave us the amount, and that was that. I expressed gratitude and thanked him for the money. It is still towards the goal. Well, because of this shift in our finances, we have had to make a lot of changes to save up the rest of the money. We have had to cut our vacations, birthday gifts, holidays, etc. We won't be traveling home for a few years. At our current rate, we should have an okay down payment by the end of next year. My dad confronted us about this because we won't come for a summer break trip, and told me I was being selfish, entitled brat because I hadn't gotten my way. That I was essentially punishing the rest of the family because we assumed what his gift would be. I told him that I was grateful for the amount he gave us, but that it means we need to buckle down and save every penny if we want to be able to afford a house anytime soon. But is my dad right? Am I the asshole? FAQ, there was no amount formally discussed. He said a down payment and that was that. For my siblings, he paid for college. He paid in cash. For my sister's house, it was okay. He did not pay for my college. They are invited to come here anytime, but believe it should be me to go there because I'm the one who moved. No, we do not go out to eat avocado toast, Starbucks, cable, etc. etc. I kind of get like why this guy is not happy with his dad because there was miscommunication, but I also feel like once the miscommunication has been cleared, and since it's not really that big of a deal, I mean, it is because it's about money and your own future, and yeah, it is a big deal, come on, but not big deal in a way where it should be like a deal breaker for your family. They didn't do anything bad really, there was just miscommunication. You can be pissed about it, you are allowed to be pissed about it, but you should also get over it. I feel once you've talked it out, clearly the dad has moved on from it, but you are still hung up on it. That's why you are punishing the entire family. So you're not the asshole for being hurt about the miscommunication, but once you've talked it out, you should get over it and you should stop acting like an asshole to your dad. Not just your dad, but your entire family as well. Also, this last part where he said that they're invited to come here anytime, but believe it should be me to go there because I'm the one who moved. Now, it's okay if you communicated it in a way where you're like, I'm saving money, I'm sorry I can't do this, be better about it. Maybe people will understand what you're doing, but this sounds like a punishment or a grudge holding thing where you're like, you didn't pay for my entire down payment, so I'm going to punish you by not going and meeting you. I mean, you can also come meet me, but you're not doing that, so blah 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 blah. You're just making it a bigger deal than it needs to be. I just think you are the asshole. Not that bad of an asshole, but I would be like, fuck you. I'm sensing that he does hold grudges like normally, because he wrote something like, for my siblings, he paid for college, he paid in cash, he paid for his sister's house, and he did not pay for my college. I mean, there must have been a reason for it. Maybe your sister is not that well off, or maybe she's not that smart to have been able to pay for her college. It's not always equal for a parent. So yeah, I think this is going to be it from my side for this week. But yeah, this is fun. I love reading posts like these anyway. There's also another subreddit, Relationship India, which I read a lot about because it's so stupid. I think I'll react to it as well. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, give it a like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you. I'm not going to say next week because I have commitment issues, but I'll see you sometime in the future with another one. Bye.